Hey drummers, Jim Linsner with the sticks, Danusha behind the camera. You've probably all heard this groove before. That's a great groove that I think everyone should learn. But what we're going to do today is we're going to play that groove in a way that takes a lot of the heat off the right hand. And it's also going to entice you to play some really interesting variations that you might not normally think of. The first step is you're going to play eighth notes on the hi-hat, and you're going to open the hi-hat on all the downbeats, and you're going to close the hi-hat on all the ands. Sounds like this. Now, I'd like you to add the left hand on all of the uhs. So you're going to play 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and Here's what that sounds like. Now what I'd like you to do is play a flam on beat 2. Now, let's turn that flam into a unison, in other words, both hands at the same time, and let's move the right hand to the snare drum. Now you just add the bass drum on beat 1, and you're all set. You got a really nice groove. So that's a great groove that you can play really strong for a long period of time and not get tired. But now we're going to have some fun with it. Now we're going to play the variations that I told you are kind of a perk of this groove. That you might not think of if you were playing all the notes with the right hand on the hi-hat. But now, since it's kind of hand-to-hand, there are some other things that you can do that are really cool. We're going to start with just adding a single left on the E of beat 3. Here's what that sounds like. Another cool thing you can do is you can take that new left hand note on the 3E and you can move it to the snare drum. You can also double stroke any of the right hand notes that fall on the and. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play a double stroke on the and of beat 2 right now. And you can combine the last two variations. So in other words, double stroke on the and of 2, accented left on the E of 3. Check out what that sounds like. Another great possibility with this groove is bass drum variations. There are like a bazillion different bass drum variations you can play. But it's not easy though. So what you want to do is get your favorite groove book and start on page 1 and go to page 2, page 3, and so on until you get to the point where you can pretty much play any bass drum pattern you want while keeping this hand pattern going. If you don't have a favorite book, I would definitely suggest Groovezilla by Kevin Soltis and Jim Linsner. This book has hundreds of bass drum variations and it comes with 9 plastic overlays, and each one of the overlays is a right hand pattern, like 8th notes or 16th notes. And it does have an overlay that is the one and a pattern, which is what we're working on. Okay, so what you can do is you can put the overlay on each page and you can see the entire beat written out for you while you're trying to learn it, which is super, super helpful. Groovezilla is available, of course, at my website, drumlessonsbuffalo.com, and Buffalo Drum Outlet. The song you're listening to right now is called Noisy Nights. It's by Uzeb. The drummer is Paul Brochu, and he's a great drummer, and this is a great example of the groove we've been working on. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Jim Linsner. I'll see you next time.